So a bit of my background, I spent about 15 years in Fortune 500 companies. I was in the recruitment space for a very long time. I ran 2 very large digital agencies serving global brands throughout North America, specifically in Canada, as was mentioned. We did everything for Keurig all across Canada, 7-Eleven. I've been part of numerous app builds. I've ran teams of all the way up to about 80 people, everything from UX to design to creative to development. So I have a pretty deep background in the agency space. I've also been part of 4 startups. I've taken 2 companies public. One of them was a flop. There's always got to be one that shits the bed. And then I'm now part of this startup, which is Hey Bryan Media Inc. And when I talk about technology and how it bridges the gap in what we do, I think everybody in this room always has an idea. Everybody here is in tech. We always look at ways that we can solve problems in the industry, how we can disrupt industries, how we can integrate technologies to make an impact. And throughout my career, I've always been the kind of person who just thinks about, what can I do? What are everyday things that are a pain in my ass that I can introduce technology to make things easier. And that's how Hey Bryan came about. So the backstory of how this business started was about 1 year and 5 months ago. I was working away running an agency for TELUS, to say the least. And I came home, my wife was at home with our 2 kids, and the dishwasher was broken. And I walked in and she was pissed off. The dishwasher was broken. It was full of dishes. The sink was full of dishes, and she wanted me to get somebody to come and fix it. So I did what everybody else in this room would do. I went to Google. I typed in dishwasher repair in New Westminster, and what popped up was what we all get, and this is still not working. There we go. So this is what we all had to do. We would just try to go find somebody in our area. We would go to Facebook pages. We would ask our friends, ask our neighbors, do you know of a good appliance repair person? Do you know of a good plumber? Do you know of a good painter? And I got frustrated. So I gave up that night. I went to work the next day. I was sitting with my CFO of our current company. We went for lunch, and I said, listen, this is what happened last night. Is there anything out there that you know of that I can actually go and find somebody who's reputable? He had the same problem. He was in the middle of a move. We started talking about it, and we thought there's got to be a better way. There has to be something out there that connects people to independent home service experts to bridge the gap. And there has to be a technology out there that puts this all together in one platform, that puts the power in the hands of the consumer, for me as a homeowner, to rate, review, all payment happens within the app, and we just started spitballing ideas around. So long story short, we worked about 1 year working full-time at our current jobs. I reached out to my network of people in the industry. I ended up getting in touch with our old app development director at our previous agency. I pitched the idea to him. I had to tell him, you got to work for free because I can only give you options. So I started to assemble a team around me to start to build this and turn this idea into a viable business. Long story short, about 6 months ago, we were prepared to go live. We had done the full build of the app. Everything was done. We wanted to go to market. One thing we learned very quickly is we had to ensure that if we're going to go live and go to market, we better do this right. There can't be any holes in this technology. It has to be sound. It has to be 99.9% bug-free. The user experience has to be there. Everything has to be nailed down. So we took a step back. I didn't want to go to market and have people have a bad user experience, so we ended up engaging a third-party team, a development team, a QA team, to really dig into this and ensure we did our proper testing before we actually went live in the market. So we are actually live here in Vancouver. We launched November 16th. We are in revenue. We've actually been acquired already, which is very rare these days. We are set to go public in probably February or March. We still have an open round at 25 cents if anybody here is interested in investing. But so we are live. So originally we were going to call this company called Fast Task, and that was just my idea of, let's just build a brand. When I got to thinking about the brand Fast Task, it was like, we're going to have to spend a ton of money to get brand recognition, to get people to help understand who we are, what we do, give them the confidence of who we are, what the brand is all about. Then I got a little light bulb went off one day. I was driving to work, and I said, you know what? I think the only way we can do this is if we actually integrate a celebrity angle. So as I was driving to work, I thought, you know what, there's nobody better in the home services space than Bryan Ballmer. And $1 million question is, how do I get a hold of this guy? So this is actually the email that I sent to, I went to Brian Ballmer's homepage and there was a contact us form. I wrote this email to him just on a whim, just thinking, yeah, right, he's never gonna respond, just a shot in the dark. Long story short, he called me the next day, just out of the blue, and he said, hey, I got your email. I'm totally interested in this. I think this is an incredible business opportunity. I think the home services space has not been disrupted. I think the technology that you're talking about, the platform that you're talking about, is something that could really have legs. So we signed an indefinite endorsement agreement with Brian Ballmer. I'm sure you all know who he is. If you don't, you'll see his bald head on this next slide. There he is. So that's Bryan Ballmer. He has 7 TV shows on HGTV. He's the most watched HGTV star and has the most viewership in all of his shows in HGTV history. He is currently filming a show in the Bahamas called Island of Bryan, which is going to air in 32 countries. So he signed on as the name, brand, and face of our company. And he gave us immediate brand recognition in the space. So when we launched, we didn't have to spend really anything on marketing. We were able to leverage his marketing channels, his social channels. We were able to leverage him. We were able to leverage his TV shows. He was really the engine that lit this business on fire. So that's kind of where we're at. And I think that the main message I want to send to everybody here is, you know, we all have those moments where we have an idea. And we think about it, you know, we ponder it, and then 6 months later, somebody else does it. And I think if I could give anybody a message here, do it. Surround yourself with the right people. Go for it. Go on a whim. But I think ensure that you build a team that complements yourself. Me as the CEO and founder, I'm great at building businesses. That's my skill set. I'm not a tech guy. I'm not a marketing guy. So I brought in the right people with the right skill set to do those roles and trust those people to manage those departments and actually execute on it. So if I have another minute or two before you cut me off, who are we and what we do? Just to let you guys know, if you haven't already, please go and download the app. We are live here in Vancouver. We have about 580 home service experts that can come and do work around your house if you own a house or an apartment or whatever it may be. So basically what we built is a marketplace app that connects homeowners and independent home service experts. Right now, there's people out there doing this already. You go to Craigslist, you need a plumber, you need anything done around the house, they're out there. We basically built an app that connects everything and puts it all in one. Think Uber for home services. Payment processing is in there. It's based on ratings and reviews, bios. You can see everything about these people. As they continue to do more and more work and get more and more reviews, they become Hey Bryan certified, which gives them a stamp, and they show up higher in the order, and they will get booked more. We've gotten a lot of feedback from the home service experts and the homeowners that are out there. People absolutely love it because they have peace of mind. For single mothers, for my wife who's home alone, who needs stuff done, they can go in here and know that these people have been vetted. They all have their criminal checks done, background checks done, ID verification is done. So we know we're actually putting quality people into your home. So if you have any other questions about the platform, feel free to come and talk to me or check out our website. A couple lessons learned, as I mentioned before, if you're going to go to market with any type of an app like this, you kind of have one shot. If you go to market and it doesn't work, it's a bad user experience, things break, payments don't work, you're going to be dead in the water. So I think the learning that I had was, before you get too excited to actually take this and go live, take a step back and get people to test it. Ensure that you're 99.9% bug-free. Ensure that it works. Ensure that you've done everything that you can do to make sure that this app is actually going to perform to the expectation of the customer. And I think the other piece is ensure that you surround yourself with the right resources. So I know there's a lot of people in here probably looking for work. We're at the point now where we're a team of 13. We're probably going to be growing to about 25. We're looking for UI people, UX people, front-end, back-end developers, QA people. So feel free to reach out to myself or come and talk to me. But I think surround yourself with the right people and build yourself the right team. So that's all I got. Thank you. Questions?
Hello. Hi, Airbnb offers like an insurance policy if you rent somebody out to Airbnb and they break your stuff. If I hire somebody through you and then they mess some stuff up, how does that work?
So we have $1 million overarching errors and emissions insurance. So if anything happens on the job site, we cover it up to $1 million. As well, the independent contractors that are doing the work typically have their own business insurance as well, so it's more of a top-up. Yeah, so we're just Canadian now. There's a massive opportunity in the Canadian market. There's really no competition in the Canadian market. There's one company in Toronto. Amazon and Google are doing beta tests in the home services space in the US. So our goal is market domination in Canada. Longer term goal would obviously be acquisition, but I think if we can actually build a stable, get the database in place, we're easy pickings.
That was kind of one of my questions as well.
Sorry.
So Bryan, he's Bryan Ballmer, Canadian, right? He doesn't advertise in the States?
He doesn't yet.
So he doesn't yet.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's in negotiations right now with Netflix in the U.S. to have all of his shows aired in the U.S.
Right.
And as well, he's the face and brand of Lowe's, and he's in negotiations with Home Depot in the U.S.
So how does this differ from like Homestars or something like that?
So HomeStars is more of a platform that allows people to go in and see other people's reviews of other work. It's not a fully integrated platform like Uber. So this is a platform that connects and integrates absolutely everything into one platform. HomeStars is more of just sort of a, if you want to think of it as kind of like Angie's List type thing. It's somewhat similar, but it's not all integrated into one app, and payment and everything is all in one spot.
They do one of my clients uses it a bit, and he does, they have an app out where they bid on jobs that come in through that.
Yeah, and it's the bidding piece, so we're not doing bidding. This is more connecting people directly, so they're being requested to actually do the work.
How many users do you have? You said you launched it November 16th. So how many contractors have already signed up, and how many, how useful it is to use this app right now? Basically.
So we launched November 16th. We have over 2,500 app downloads just in BC. We have 580 home service experts, we call them, who are actually in the platform, who have their profiles set up, bank account information, and have already been vetted and ready to work. We've processed just in BC alone, well, in Vancouver alone, we've done 135 jobs in 7 weeks now, just in BC. So, and that was a soft launch. We didn't really go out and announce loud and proud. We wanted to ensure the technology works and work out the kinks. Thank you.
Thank you. Sounds like an exciting venture.